Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from JS. Thank you so much. If anyone wants to send in pretty much any type of request, or topic, reaction, review, commentary, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. Now, he wanted me to do a reaction, but copyright put the kibosh on that. Blocked. So I figured I would do a review of it. And granted, I've seen this music video many times. There was nothing really for me to react to. This is one of those music videos that played a lot. And granted, I didn't grow up as a kid with MTV, but around the early 2000s, got cable and watched quite a bit of it. At least when they had sections where they would show old school MTV music videos. Nowadays, MTV shows anything but music. What's the one thing they don't show on music television? Music. Well, shit. Go fucking figure, right? The one see music on music television? But anyway, this is the review of Aha's Take On Me. And this is a song you definitely heard. Take on me. It would be used in quite a bit of stuff. In particular, it was actually used as part of the marketing in Ready Player One. And they did like a different version or more grandiose version of Take On Me. Which is definitely, with the song and with the music video, is a nice symbol for the 80s. For me, the creativity that happened in the 80s. Maybe cocaine fueled, but I think we need to get back the cocaine because the creativity ain't there. I think the cocaine needs to be part of a daily breakfast for a lot of these people in Hollywood. And not just Hollywood, but all over. Bring cocaine back. You didn't even put it in Coca-Cola. Cocaine. Now, this is directed by Steve Barron. Yes, the same guy that would go on to direct the 1990 Ninja Turtles film directed this music video of Aha's Take On Me. And you can just type in the YouTube search engine, Aha's Take On Me, you'll see it. It's a very famous video where it takes place in this diner. I think it's called Kim's Cafe. I think nowadays it's called Savoy Cafe. It might be in London. I think this was made in London. And it's about a woman reading a comic book at this cafe, sees this figure winking at her. His hand comes up, drawing her into his world. And throughout the song, it's her being in his world. And it's all done via the technique of rotoscoping. If you don't know what rotoscoping is, they don't do a whole lot of this nowadays, which is sad. But it's a really neat, really cool technique. I guess in a way they did it for A Standard Darkly. Also, if you watch Harry and the Hendersons with John Lithgow, at the end credits, there's rotoscoping. Because they show the footage and then it goes into, because John Lithgow's character would draw, these drawings come to life and done and representing the scene. Like the scene starts and then continues in this rotoscoping technique. Again, at the end credits of Harry and the Hendersons. And there's other examples of it as well. But what rotoscoping is, you take live action footage, you shoot it, and then you trace each frame by frame. You trace each bit again and again. You take each frame. Like, I think for this, it said there's like 3,000 frames rotoscoped. It took like 16 weeks to do. And of course, you can trace the actor, and then the environment, you can do whatever you want. So it works as animation, but because you're tracing the person frame by frame, they did a more natural movement. And there's other animated films that did utilize that technique. And this is definitely, I would say, one of the pieces of media that people took notice. Because this came out what, in the 80s? Mid 80s. It's just I'm trying to remember the right year. Was it 85 or 86? People don't realize how big MTV was at that time. Nowadays, there are people who don't know what the fuck MTV is. I guarantee you, there's younger people. What the fuck is MTV? But MTV was a revolution back in the day. MTV was the channel for the young people, was the channel for the rebellious people, was the channel for all adults. It's not for them, it's for us. And to show crazy cartoons or the newest heavy metal or whatever types and pieces of music. And you have Beavis and Butthead, you have Liquid Television. I wish there was an actual full release of Liquid Television. I also wish there was an actual full release of all the crazy, weird, quirky MTV commercials that really show the imagination and the creativity. Go up top and type in Liquid Television in the YouTube search engine, and you'll get some really trippy, cool-looking visuals, and really see how the creativity and imagination was endless. Again, probably fueled by cocaine, but it helped. And just the rotoscoping looks cool. I thought Steve Barron did a nice job directing. I don't know if this is one of the things that led him to get in the 1990 Ninja Turtles film. But that'd be interesting if in the middle there'd be scenes where the turtles are rotoscoped. It definitely looked like the black and white comic book if it did that. But yeah, number one, I like the song. I don't mind the sound at all. It's a catchy song. It was a big hit when it came out. Huge hit. I think the music video definitely helped that song become even more of a hit than it originally would have been. And I was talking about the direction. Like, there were times where, like I said, this girl in the cafe is pulled into his comic book world. And there are times where it goes from him drawn, and you have this sort of almost portal, and you see the girl looking normal, and then it'll pan as it pans, and we see the other side of this doorway, we see her drawn, and him in real life, and vice versa. So this is back and forth where it goes from drawn, real, to real, drawn. I mean, that was pretty, I would say, innovative direction at the time. Because you were not seeing a ton of this. Nowadays, people think it's all hat because you could do this on your computer. But back then, that was not the case. That was not some normal thing that happened. And like I said, rotoscoping is definitely an interesting... I mean, I guess technically you could say some are trying to do that with CGI, with the way how people... But at the same time, I guess, yeah, I could... You're probably technically right. But just the way it is doing it in the actual hand-drawn comic book style brought a certain personality, uniqueness to, not only to it as a music video, but as an art form. And there's a time you'd have this thing called music videos, and they actually tell a story. This actually told a story. She was drawn to his world. They're getting fall in love with each other. These two bad guys are chasing them down the hallway. He opens up a portal to let her escape. He'll deal with what comes. As she's in the real world, she's trying to find the comic. It's been crumpled. She takes it, rushes back home. Thinks he's not alright. Sad. She looks over and he is trying to get into our real world. And I didn't realize this until watching it again. They did an ode to Altered States. If you don't know what Altered States is, it's a film I have reviewed in the past. It stars William Hurt and Bob Balaban, and it's a really interesting, trippy sci-fi film where a guy is doing experiments in sleep deprivation and trying to get into the psyche of inner man and where do we come from and how were we created. But going to sleep deprivation mixed in with LSD and all types of drugs creates this fusion of energy and regression, and he's trying to snap himself out of it. And at the end, when he's pounding on the walls to snap himself out, it's the same thing in this. I'm like, that was so fucking... It is. Okay, they are doing the altered states nod. Because your lead is pounding on the wall going from drawn to normal in the same mannerisms like the ending of Altered States. I went, wow, so that was cool watching it again I just back then, I never saw Altered States. I didn't get the reference. Just how do I get the reference when I never saw the fucking thing it's referencing? But I'm watching it, I went, oh, okay, that's what it's about. Okay, cool. That was a nice surprise. And again, this is a music video that actually told a little story. And that's not something that always happened in music videos, but it was kind of appreciative. You know, like when I say told a story, granted, there's bigger productions, like when Michael Jackson would do it for Moonwalker, the Smooth Criminal, I should say, and then Thriller, where the music actually stops, and then you do a movie. No, this is just the duration of the song. And yeah, I mean, the song is catchy. I like the song. The animation, the pencil sketch animation, the rotoscoping is a cool artifact that... I guess what I mean is the pencil sketch rotoscoping you don't really see nowadays. Technically, you could quantify it as rotoscoping, but I'm just saying the pencil sketch. I mean, not many people fucking draw on a pencil anymore. When people draw, it's on a computer. There's not many people that actually get an actual pencil and draw stuff. There are some, to be fair, but a lot less than there were since this time. Which is too bad. It's too bad. But yeah, I'm not sure what else to say, because it is a music video, it's a short thing. I'm not sure what else to go into. Interesting that there's... Yeah, just the song is playing, there's no dialogue, but you're able to understand the story without dialogue. So, Steve Barron didn't do that. I mean, he made a little story that you understood what was going on, told by visuals, and had a beginning, middle, and end to it. Go figure. And they did. It looked cool. I still think it looks cool. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.